So in 2022, the NFT market is going to absolutely explode, but I'm not just going to tell you why. It is absolutely going to go parabolic. Trust me. I'm going to show you that here in a second, but I'm also going to give you options as far as from starting at high going down to low, which projects would be a potentially profitable investment if you got in now, leading up to what's about to happen that I'm going to show you. So if you want to get in on some potential profits, check this out. So first off, NFTs may seem like the big thing right now, but trust me, we're just getting started. Okay. So if you come over to this analytic tool called Dune Analytics, right, you can go and see how many monthly active traders are currently on the NFT marketplace OpenSea, which OpenSea is the current dominant NFT marketplace. All right. There is some competition coming up, which we're going to talk about. All right. So with OpenSea monthly active traders, right now we're sitting at about 292,000 active traders on OpenSea each month. Right now, that's not a lot. Okay, we're talking about like in the scope of like marketplaces, that is absolutely minimal. All right, and then check this out. So with the user accounts, we're sitting at right under about 1 million traders over time. Now bear in mind, traders are accounts that have made at least one transaction, right? You can see that right here. Now multiple people, a lot of people have multiple wallets. So let's say even 25% have two. Well, then you take away basically an eighth, because that would be doubled wallets, right? So I don't know the exact statistics on how many people have more wallets than one, but we're sitting at essentially less than maybe 750, maybe 800,000 unique users, not wallets. But I definitely want you to look at this graph, okay? Going into January. So this was July, right? Everybody's like, back in July, back in the good days, right? Things started taking off. Well, it did, about the summer, okay? And then things absolutely exploded. Now check this out. This is why the NFT marketplace is going to go absolutely insane. All right, now if you guys are excited to learn this stuff, make sure you give this video a big old like. Make sure you subscribe. This is my brand new channel where I'm going to be dumping everything that I'm learning as I'm going through my NFT journey, and I'm going to be sharing it with you guys. So if you want to benefit, if you want to find potentially profitable projects, again, I can't say this is financial advice. Here's a big warning. This is not financial advice, okay? I'm going to be sharing everything I possibly can to help you succeed in this market, if that's something that you want to do. Okay, so let's take that. Let's say less than 1 million wallets that are active with 292,000 users, right? Very soon, Coinbase is going to be launching their own NFT marketplace that is integrated with Coinbase, okay? Check this out. Coinbase has 56 million verified users, right? And it has 6.1 million users that have made at least one transaction per month, meaning they have a consistent base of 6.1 million users, right, each month. Okay, now let's check that out. Let's go back to the 292 monthly users on OpenSea, right? So 292,000 users that keep showing up and make monthly transactions. And also let's look at the monthly sold. So monthly volume in Ethereum, that's 2.5 billion US dollars in January. Okay, which it's gone down a little bit, but look at this. So this was July, boom, explosion. Okay, so and this is with 292,000 users, right? So just imagine the minimum 6.1 million people show up for NFT marketplace. Well, guess what? NFTs, they're a limited supply, right? So each collection has, maybe 1,000 or 5,000, 10,000, whatever, right? And we'll talk about a couple good projects to get into right now, right? To start looking into, as well as some of the utility behind them. But this right here, this is just the start. This is just like this graph right here is going to look like this in comparison when Coinbase launches their marketplace. Like I'm serious. There's going to be millions of people coming into the market and seeing the potential with NFTs and, starting to find that interest in this market. All right. So this is where we're at right now. Like the door's barely even opening as far as potential. Okay. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about some projects that you could really look at getting into this year. We're going to start with some big ones. I don't think personally you should jump into the big ones like Bored API Club. I'll go ahead and talk about this one. So Bored API Club, they're already at 74 ETH, right? The floor is 74 ETH. So if you go to OpenSea.io, you can search for Bored API Club. You'll find this. If we say buy now, we can see that the floor, the cheapest one, right, is 74 Ethereum. Click into it, is $248,000, right? So you could either buy this ape right here, or you can go buy yourself a decent house, right? So the choice is yours. Do I think the potential for this to continue growing going into 2022, 2023 is there? Absolutely. Potentially, this could be a good investment. You know, you could spend $248,000, and you know it could be $500,000 in a couple months, which is possible. Okay, CyberKongz did it. Okay, CyberKongz, the Genesis, you know, it's like $500,000 plus, right? And people spend anywhere from a couple $100,000 clear up into millions of dollars on these things. Okay, so this is a decent potential if you have the money. But let's say you're like me, somebody that doesn't have, you know, $250,000 just sitting around to blow, right? So Mutant API Club, which is essentially the exact same thing of Bored API Club, but it's the, you know, like the child or the offspring collection done by the same people, but it's like the secondary collection, right? So these guys have actually just been exploding recently. Like if you would have gotten in, let's say like a week ago, you would have been paying an average price of yeah, so anywhere from about, you know, 8 to about 14 is where they were at. They're still there, but these guys were clear down. I mean, the average price was pretty low, sitting at about, you know, 6 to 7 ish Ethereum just not that long ago. So it's already doubled in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So this is a pretty good project if you want to have the potential of holding something that, you know, gets up to, you know, $200,000 versus or sorry, 74 Ethereum versus 14 Ethereum, right? This would be something that you could potentially get into for a much better growth potential, as well as having a good profile picture. Most people see mutant apes anymore, and you have solid validity or respect in the marketplace for owning a Mutant API Club. My full disclosure, some of these I do own, some of these I do not. I do not own a Bored Ape or a Mutant API Club. All right. By the way, Bored Ape, Mutant Ape, Doodles, CoolCats, Lazy Lions, there's going to be a few projects that I'm going to talk about in this video that will be on the Coinbase NFT marketplace already. Like I know for sure they will be there. And then I'm going to talk about a couple that may not be on the Coinbase marketplace, but the fact that the exposure is going to be there on a new marketplace and people are going to start seeing NFTs like never before, they're going to start looking around. And so OpenSea will see a massive growth as well directly from the Coinbase NFT launch. Okay, so don't think that just because they're not going to be on the Coinbase NFT marketplace doesn't mean they're going to grow. Okay, anything on OpenSea is going to grow as well, as long as it's a decent project. Okay, not all projects will grow. All right, but with that said, some of these will be on the Coinbase NFT marketplace. Some of these may not be, at least not yet. Okay, but Doodles is a really cool project. In fact, they've actually more than doubled in the last week. They've exploded, and these guys, they're just going to keep going. Okay, if you look at the activity every couple hours, I mean, they're selling like crazy still, and they were just like 4 Ethereum not even that long ago. Okay, so at the end of December, they were basically 4, 5, 6, yeah, literally 4, 5, 6 Ethereum, and they're just going absolutely nuts. Okay, so these guys, even if you buy one of those and within a couple weeks they go up, you know, to 15 Ethereum, bear in mind an Ethereum right now is about $3,200. So you can do the math. If they go up, you know, 3 Ethereum, that's almost 10 grand, right? So yeah, definitely potential with these guys. Plus these guys' profile pictures and the community is amazing. These guys really stick together. They have awesome plans. They work together. They work with their community amazingly well. And when you see somebody with a doodle profile picture, they're usually pretty solid, and they're awesome people to be around. So yeah, if you want to get into a good project that has amazing potential, Doodles would be a good one to check it out if you have the Ethereum. Okay, let's move it down a little bit. CoolCats, I'm not going to go too crazy on these guys. They're a really solid project. They have insane trade volume. Okay, the floor price is insane. I mean, these guys, they're just exploding. Same thing as Doodles. Cool art, good profile pictures, great community, and the potential is insane. Okay, so these guys could blow up. You know, even if they go up 2, 3, 4 Ethereum, you know, that's a solid profit. One of my personal favorites. I like the Doge Pound, but it's a much lower entry point. All right, the Doge Pound is basically the same thing. It's a profile picture as well as a little bit of back end utility as far as social utility, right? You get access to like the community and all that. They've got a cool art style, but with a 1.85 floor. These guys were back. If we go back to all time, so look at this growth. Okay, these guys went up. These guys tapped 4 Ethereum and they started slowing down, right? But if we go back, let's look at like Mutant Apes, right? These guys explode. Let's go to all time. Okay, so they'll do that. They'll go up, they'll get like a bunch of volume, and then they'll start dying down a little bit, and then it'll start catching on, and then they'll just like take off again. Okay, so a really good project. You know, it's not uncommon to see them hit like 4 or 5 Ethereum and then start to die off as people are selling them. You know, they made a lot of good profits, but people really appreciate the project. So again, it'll start getting more volume and take off again. Okay, I personally see the Doge Pound hitting, you know, again 4 or 5, even 6 Ethereum, maybe even 10 with the Coinbase launch, right? Okay, and then another project that for sure will be on the NFT marketplace for Coinbase is Lazy Lions. Okay, again, these guys are a profile picture collection, but they've got a really cool art style, great community. The community works together to try to like figure out things that they want to do, even though they say they're lazy. They're a cool project, and I think the growth potential that they have there, again, if we go to the all-time, this went up just like the Doge Pound. I mean, we're looking at, they went up, tapped the 4 Ethereum, they started going down, a little bit more volume, and then they're going down again, more volume coming back. Just imagine what's going to happen when, you know, millions more people figure out, hey, this is on the NFT marketplace for Coinbase. This is already one of the primary, like a good project that's a beginner or a starter successful project. Okay, an entry point, right, at 1.5 Ethereum. With Coinbase launching, I could see that going to anywhere between 5 to 10 Ethereum floor as well. Okay, and then Pudgy Penguins, I'm just going to go over this one quick. You can see the insane amount of volume coming back into this. This started out essentially like just under 6 Ethereum. Okay, they took a major dip, they were kind of slowing down, and then boom, they're exploding again. These guys will be on the NFT marketplace for Coinbase as well. Again, 1.5 Ethereum-ish floor. These guys could explode. All right, so I'm gonna move into a little bit different style projects that's not just like the cool art styles or whatever, right? I'm gonna go into like some really interesting products that have a little bit more utility or uniqueness. All right, so Oxia Origin project. These guys are 3D characters designed by Lori Gwyntrand. Apologize if I said that wrong. But anyways, they did like modeling and 3D art and graphics design, all this stuff for Avengers, Witcher, Fantastic Four, and other artists that were known for Netflix, Ubisoft, Riot Games, etc. Right? So this is a big collection put together by some really cool people that actually know what the heck they're doing. Like professionally, these guys are who you would watch on the big screen. Okay, so these things are 1.5 Ethereum floor, and they're not revealed yet. Okay, as of right now, they're just not. And if we look at the activity, they're selling every couple minutes, right? So several within an hour. Everybody's just kind of holding, waiting for the reveal. My prediction, after reveal, people are going to sell the ones that they don't want. People are going to be buying the ones that they do want. So the floor is going to tank down for a little bit, but I guarantee you this is going to be a 5 ETH floor within just a couple weeks. Okay, like literally maybe within 2-3 weeks, this is going to explode because this project is really cool. Okay, so now I'm going to move away from kind of the profile picture slash just show off projects. I'm going to move into something that's got more of like a utility as far as the on-chain game NFTs, which I personally really enjoy because you can actually just buy these guys, you can stake them, you can let them run. Not only are you playing a game it's doing its own function, you're generating tokens, which is a tokenomics system, right? So you get your own actual cryptocurrency. But I'm going to talk about some of these projects and their potential on what they could do, especially with 6.1 million people coming in. And I know that the gaming industry has a massive potential with this implementation of the blockchain and all this stuff. So being early is kind of cool to see this stuff go on, but also it's got a really cool profit potential. All right, so check this out. So this is EtherOrcs Genesis. These were some of the first, if not the first, on-chain game that was running as far as an NFT and tokenomics game. All right, so if you look at these guys are a 1.65 floor. Okay, so they're kind of a cool pixel art. They actually look really decent in my opinion. I'm not even crazy about pixel art personally, but these look pretty cool. So if we go to the activity, look at this. So check this out. These are the average prices. Okay, so average price is 1.9 at this peak. But if you look at this, here we are right now at 111. The average price right now, these things are selling at 2.59 is the average price that they're being sold at, right? But if we go back over here, the floor is 1.65, okay? So the reason for that is because of the tokenomics and the token generation, all right? So these guys will generate a different amount of tokens based off of different levels, different skills, different items and whatnot, right? So what's cool is you can stake these guys and they'll start generating a token called Zug, okay? So Zug, this is their token, and right now it's $1.20. I was also looking at their website. The average generation per day per NFT. So if you own one EtherOrc, you generate about 16 Zug a day, okay? So if we do 16 Zug a day times 1.20, we'll just do that, is about $19 per EtherOrc, okay? So say you have 3 of those, there's $57 per day, and then per week you're making about $400 per week, so that's $1,600 per month just for owning 3 of these things just sitting there. You're paying rent, which that to me is really cool because it's not just a profile picture that's gaining value or potentially losing value, but it's actually sitting there. So the NFT itself is fluctuating in price, but it's generating a currency through the gaming and the tokenomics that is also giving me additional value or utility. Okay, so that's a really cool system. So with that said, EtherOrcs is a really cool one, and they're trading, you know, almost 3 Ethereum a piece. Let's take that thought and move it forward. Okay, so Furballs official, these guys are freaking amazing. In fact, the lead developer is the developer behind Words with Friends. Probably a lot of you know what Words with Friends is, the actual like phone app. So he is developing, and then the artist actually worked with like Amazon, Netflix as well, and stuff like that. So the artist has really structured background as far as being a professional graphics designer. But the whole project, these things, I mean, they're kind of cute. They're just really freaking cool. But they have their own tokenomic system as well, which is Fur. They generate, it's a very different system. They generate like anywhere from, I believe, 120 to like 250 or 300 per hour, right? But the token is like half of a cent, and it works out. My brother actually has a bunch of Furballs. I personally don't have any Furballs, but he does. And the Furballs that he has are generating anywhere from, you know, about $1,200 to about $1,600 per month a piece right now, right? So they definitely generate a decent amount of tokens. But the floor price, let's check this out. So they're at 0.82, right? Look at this. They started out, they kind of slowed down. They dropped clear down to 0.11, right? I mean, even lower than that, I think. They were like there, okay? And then they just exploded. So if you would have bought here, you would have made a 6x within like literally a week, right? So then it started slowing down again. A little bit more value came back, right? Volume is pushing it, and it tapped clear up to 1.5 average price. And look at that, that's just going right back up. And they're just selling out. It looks like one every couple hours or a couple per hour, but they're selling all the way up into the 1 Ethereum plus. Here's one that actually sold for 5 Ethereum, right? So these guys, the Furballs, again, tokenomics, they've got their own game. In fact, these guys are actually coming out with a like boss fight. They're coming out with an actual 3D like actual video game that you can play like on your mobile or on your desktop. That'll be kind of like Pokemon, kind of like Axie Infinity. If you know anything about Axie Infinity, the first generation Axies, those NFTs sell literally for like 100 Ethereum plus. Like those things are amazingly expensive because they're the first generation that started that NFT block game. Okay. These guys are doing essentially a similar thing, very different way of doing it, but these guys will be able to breed and generate and turn into a massive game that's got staking and like scholarships and all kinds of different things that other players can use to participate in this game. So this is going to be a huge world, a major economy, and everything behind this system. And they're less than an Ethereum right now, right? So these guys in 2022, these Furballs could honestly be 5 to 10, maybe even 20 Ethereum a piece. Okay, based off of the Axie Infinity craze, these guys could go literally parabolic. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and move into, if you don't have 0.8 Ethereum to just ape into a project, another good project that's a really good on-chain game is the Defenders of Dogewood. Okay, these guys are, you know, again, tokenomics. This is actually more of like a fantasy RPG game. These guys have like, you've got classes, you have all kinds of cool stuff. They're going to have items, and they're actually going to develop into like where you can equip new items, you can level, you can compete, you can go on raids, you can do all kinds of different things with the blockchain, generate tokenomics, and just keep making, you know, if you want to sell the token, you can do that. You can make money, or just play it and ride the value of the NFT itself, the project. Okay, look at this. Start dying down, a little bit of volume, boom. They went from 0.1 to half of an Ethereum in like a little over a week and a half. Okay, so Dogewood, definitely a good project. It's a cheaper one. I would highly recommend going and grabbing a Doge or two. Those guys, they generate what's called Treat, and Treat right now is about $4, $3.50 to $4. And depending on the Doge and the level, they generate anywhere from like 1 to, you know, they could generate more than 1 per day, depending on skills, levels, items, all that. So again, another passive tokenomics generation system with Dogewood. And finally, the last one as far as the on-chain tokenomics game that I would really recommend is Feudals. Gary Vaynerchuk actually got into Feudals. So this project, just because of that, they've got metaverse land that they're putting out. They've got a full game that they're building. So Feudals could take off really well. If you go back to the original one, right? Let's look at Ether Orcs. These guys are at 1.5 Ethereum or more. These guys, if you bought basically right now, you'd be looking at potentially a 5x, right, going into the next couple of weeks. And these guys have had crazy volume right at the start. They were going even for like 1.5. The average was 1.2 ETH, and they had amazing potential. And development needed to happen. So of course, you know, people got impatient, slowed down, a little bit of volume started kicking back in, and this, you know, really does have potential to explode. All right. Then the last project I want to talk about, it just launched. I don't know a whole lot about it. We'll see what happens, but it's a very interesting take on a project. All right. So NFT Chains is created by somebody who's called the Crypto Jeweler. All right. So they are 3D computer generated NFTs that are a really cool concept. They're a 3D chain, right? Like a pendant, but they're also tied in with real world utility, right? So like access to like club, having like your own concierge, and like all kinds of different craziness stuff. I can link the website below. Check this out. Like the art on these things, if we go to the actual website, like this is what they look like, right? Like these look really cool. And you know, I'm not sponsored by any of these projects like at all. I just think this one is really interesting, and the team behind it, they're definitely pushing for like a celebrity awareness, and like just pushing their art and their craftsmanship, because I mean, this is CG craftsmanship. It's a really cool thing that's got real world utility. So I'll link to this. If you want to learn more about it, you can go ahead and check it out. Again, I'm not sponsored by any of these guys whatsoever. These are just projects I think could really do well going into 2022. And there's just so many projects to keep up with. It's insane. There's projects that everybody talks about. There's projects that nobody talks about that still explode, that just have a good community behind it. So I'm always trying to do my best to keep up with the the market and everything that's going on. So be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, tick that bell icon, and also go to Twitter, give me a follow. I started a new Twitter where I'm going to be sharing anything that I can find, any good projects. Anytime I find something interesting or come out with a new video, I'm going to be putting it here and sharing everything on my journey I possibly can. So if you find value in what I'm doing with this channel and with my Twitter, be sure to follow me there as well as subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.